Hello, good day.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, nice to meet you here.
You too. Thank you for being on.
Yeah, and I love your book. So I have two questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
So to my first question, the number one say, were there moments when you questioned whether you should share such a personal story? What helped you move forward?
There's always a fear when it comes to being vulnerable because you don't know how people probably will receive your story or if they will really understand what you're trying to express, right? And I have thought about that a lot when I was writing this book, whether I should write it. And even after I wrote it, I wasn't sure if I should publish it. So I think it's really for me as a believer, I'm a Christian, just knowing that this was my experience and how can I use that not just to um, impact people to see the disparities, but also offer hope to women that no matter the challenges that they may face, that if they have faith, they may overcome it. So the first thing for me was my faith, and then of course the support of my husband, my family, my friends, my publisher. They really pushed me and believed that I had something important to share.
Okay, thank you so much for that answer. I really appreciate. So to my second question, how do you define being heard beyond simply having someone listen?
The impact beyond simply having someone listen,
Yes.
being involved. I feel like each one of us, no matter where we are, no matter what we do, there is a you can play a part in the change that you want to see. So for me, it's not just being a healthcare provider. For me, it's also writing, right? It's putting my voice out there, making sure that people know this is my experience and the experiences of many different women that look like myself. So I feel like every single person, we all on here, we can play our part in the change we want to see, no matter how small it is.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. How do I define being heard? Beyond being listened. So somebody can be looking straight at you, right? You can be having a conversation and they may be responding and interacting in that conversation, but that doesn't mean that they're really listening, right? They may be paying attention, they may be part of the conversation, but that doesn't mean you're being heard. So for me, being heard is not just the exchange that takes place when it comes to communicating, but it's seeing actions, the follow through when it comes to what's being said. So you can nod, you can respond, but what is it that you're gonna do to make sure that what I'm saying is taken into account? Mhm.
Hello,
Hi,
how are you doing today?
doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Nice having you here.
Pleasure to be on.
So I have just two questions to ask you. Are you with me?
What is it?
I have two questions. Are you hearing
Hmm.
me?
Yes, I
So
can hear
my,
you.
my first question is what inspired you to write Unheard? And what was the defining moment that made you realize this story needed to be told?
So it took me a good two, like more than 2 years for me to finally write that book, right? When you go into your experience, sometimes you don't realize how crucial and life changing they are until later on you sit back and you really process what you've gone through. So for me, it's really realizing, oh my God, like this is not a simple matter that just happened when I was trying to give birth to my son. Like it really, no one was really listening, and things could have really gone the wrong direction. So realizing that, and then I started thinking, well, we see on social media every so often the stories of Black women who either lose their lives or they lose their babies, and it's on social media for a little while, then it looks like people forget about it and we go back to our routine and stuff like that, while those same disparities continue to affect them. So I'm like, then, having gone that myself, having experienced that firsthand, how can I use my story to make a bigger impact, not just one more Instagram or Facebook post, but really push it out there. That way it can impact as many people as possible.
Wow, that is a nice answer. Thank you for that. Are you with me? I have just one more question.
I can hear you.
So my second question, as both an APRN and the author
Mhm.
of Unheard, how did your professional background influence the way you approach the book? Did you get that?
It Yes, I did. So it made me even more aware of my role, right? As a person who's in healthcare, even though my story is based on maternal care, even though that's not my specialty, but in the area that I am in, how can I make sure that I am somebody that makes things fair and equitable for everyone? How do I take care of all of my patients in the same way that I would have wanted to be taken care of when I was in that situation? So this is exactly what from both an author and APRN perspective, this is how it has changed me.
Okay, thank you for that. That has really answered my question. I really
Thank
appreciate it.
you. Thank you.
Uh, Nice having you here again once more.
Thank you again. Mhm. Okay. You cut out a little bit at the end. To speak up until you get the attention that you need, to make sure that what you want, that people are actually paying attention. You asked that question earlier that I think is very crucial, because there is a difference between being listened to and being heard. So make sure that what you are asking about, it's really understood and that people are taking that into account. And also having a support system, people that can stand by you, people that can help advocate for you, because sometimes it's not something that you necessarily need to do on your own. So if you are in a vulnerable space, making sure that if you cannot speak or if you feel like your voice cannot make the impact or reach the people that it needs to, that somebody else can stand in the gap for you. Look where you are now. Look where you are now. Like, what can you do right now? I know that sometimes it feels like if you want to see a change, it has to be something that is so great, like so big. But small things matter as well. So, where you are right now, just see what position you're in and how can you start having maybe some conversation like what we're doing right now. We're having conversation, just seeing how can you start small and the little things like do not matter, that thing can actually become the big things. So for me, at first I was like, well, this is just a book probably. I'm not sure if people are gonna buy it, I'm not sure if people are gonna read it, but I felt like I had something to say and I wanted that message to reach people. So I moved by faith and I did the little bit that I could do, and it has just taken off. So you just never know the small steps that you take, how far they can take you. How can we partner with the community, healthcare organization, leaders? How can we all come together, policymakers, to make sure that every single woman, every single mother has access to the care that they need when it comes to, prenatal care, maternal care, and postpartum care? So how can all of us we come together and make sure that we work towards achieving that goal? Mm.
Yes, hello.
Yes, hi Beverly.
Yeah, I actually have another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we readers could take away only one lesson from your book, what would you want it to be?
That we cannot always control every situation in our lives, but at the end of the day, if we have faith and if we push through the discomfort, the challenges, and by remaining persistent, that we will come out stronger. I can tell you, I'm not the same person that I was before I went through what I went through. So just being persistent and resilient.
Okay, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate.
Well,
So, I have another question. Sorry. Yeah. So, to my second question that I want to ask, was there a moment while writing this book that completely changed your perspective?
just looking back and realizing that I had the opportunity, right, to give birth to my son and walking out the hospital, that both of us did, that we were both alive. And it made me realize and think about the mothers and the babies who don't have that same chance. So that was a point of a deep realization for me, that I got to make it out, but then there are others who do not have the same opportunity as me.
Okay, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate. I really appreciate.
No problem. Mm-hmm. I would like everyone to know that everything that you go through in life has a purpose and there's a reason for it. It will either be to grow you, to move you, but it will be for a purpose. Just trust the process, and no matter the challenges that you face, what you're going through right now is not your final destination. Start writing and keep on writing. You'll be surprised how when you grab the pen, the computer, and you just write a few words down, like how much more, especially when you are in tune with what you're writing, it will just flow, and before you know it, your book will be done. I know it's like for me, like I explained earlier, it may not be a story that's the most comfortable, but then when you're done with it and you get to see how it is changing lives, how it is impacting people, then you will realize that every single thing that you went through to just write it was worth it. Mm, thank you so much. Well, yeah, sure. Just you know how to reach out to me, Joel. Yeah, we can for sure do something else again. Absolutely. I'll be delighted.
Thank you so much. I really love your speech.
Thank you
Thank
for
you so
being
much.
on. Thank you for listening to me and giving me the space to share my story. I appreciate it very much. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hope everyone have a good evening.
Yeah.